Hello students, welcome to computer class. We are learning the second chapter, computer memory. The second part we are learning here. In the first part, few things we have covered. Now, before starting the second part, we will revise few things from the first video that we have learned about computer memory, computer brain. Okay, what is computer brain? We are calling CPU as the computer's brain. Human activities are controlled by the human brain, whereas the computer's activity are controlled by the CPU, that is processor or the central processing unit. In the central processing unit, it is divided into three parts. If you'll see, it takes the input, it processes the input in the CPU, that is brain of the computer, and it gives the output. This is the block diagram of the computer. But this CPU is divided further into three parts, that is control unit, ALU and memory unit. Memory unit means everything is told to computer. It is not storing in memory unit. Okay, what are to be stored? It goes to memory unit. What is there to do calculations? It goes to ALU, and control units sees the looking or the functioning of all overall for each and every subunit. Now, these memory units, memory means to remember something. Okay, it is having different slots in the memory unit of computer. What is this memory and how it is measured? That we have learned. Okay, many different things are measured in different units, like kilograms are there, grams are there for measuring different things. Now to measure the liquid items, we have liters, milliliters, etc. These units. Similarly, a computer memory can be measured in bits or bytes. One byte consists of 8 bits. What is 8 bit? What is a bit? It's a bit means either a 0 or 1. And 8 bits together means it's a combination of zeros and ones. That is called 1 byte. This 1 byte may be a character, a number or a symbol. Here the table is given. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bits. 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobytes, and so on. Okay. Now we will see in normal this what these major means, how much big it is. That is this with this we will get some idea how big the computer memory is. 1 kilobyte is 1024 bytes. This is approximately equal to one page of a normal textbook. Megabyte, 1 megabyte is 1024 kilobytes, that is KB. This is approximately equal to one book. Gigabyte, GB, 1 gigabyte is 1024 megabytes or MB. This is approximately equal to bunch of books, means either 6-7 books, not only one book. Terabyte, TB, 1 terabyte is 1024 gigabytes, that is GB. This is approximately equal to entire book stand, means more than 20-30 books. 1 petabyte is 1024 terabytes, that is TB. This is approximately equal to room full of books, means see the capacity of a computer. Generally it is in gigabytes or terabytes. Okay, so big the computer memory is. Now what is primary memory? This is divided into primary memory and secondary memory. Computer memory is divided into major two parts. Now in primary memory, we'll see first primary memory. This we have learned. We are revising all this. Primary memory is often known as the working memory or the main memory of a computer. Primary memory is of two types, volatile and non-volatile. What is volatile? When the computer is turned off, the volatile memory loses its contents. Means whatever is there in the volatile memory, that part of memory, all the contents of that particular memory get lost. Non-volatile memory, that is NVMe, is in contrast does not lose its contents when the computer is turned off. RAM and ROM are the two major types of primary memory. They are made up of semiconductor material. A computer cannot run without primary memory. It should have primary memory. Then only it will work properly. Otherwise, it is not a useful machine. RAM, random access memory. RAM also called as the main memory. It consists of memory chips that can be read from and written to by the processor and the other devices. When you turn on a computer, certain operating system files are loaded into RAM from a storage device such as hard disk. These files remain in RAM as long as the computer is on. Means what? Operating system files are getting loaded into the RAM. Unless and until you are not switching off, those files remain in the RAM itself. And some other application files also which you have opened, it will remain in the RAM. The processor, that is the CPU, interprets and executes a program or application instructions while the program or application is in the RAM. Directly from the hard disk, it is not reading and it is not working. Okay, it should be in the RAM. During this time, the contents of a RAM may change. RAM is a volatile memory. For this reason, you must save whatever work you have done because you may need it in the future. Saving is the process of copying items from RAM to the hard disk. From RAM memory to the hard disk, because in the RAM currently whatever work you have done you have stored, means it remains there, but whenever you want to save it, you are saving any particular work, that time that work is getting saved on the hard disk. It is there on the RAM. From the RAM it saves the work in the hard disk. Understood? Yes. Now we'll move further. All this we have revised. Now we'll see types of RAM. There are three common types of RAM chips: dynamic, static and magnetoresistive RAM. Dynamic RAM, that is DRAM, is inexpensive and the most popular type of main memory used in computer. Many variants of DRAM chips exist, most of which are very faster than the basic DRAM. Variants means advancements are there, so there are variations. What are they? That we will see. Dynamic RAM, that is DRAM variants. SDRAM, synchronous DRAM. It is faster and more reliable than simple DRAM. DDR, SDRM, double data rate. It is more faster. Okay, then SDRAM. It is faster than SDRAM and transfers data twice instead of once for each clock style. Okay, for the safer side. DDR2. It is second generation of DDR with faster speed. It is more advanced. DDR3, it is more advanced than DDR2, which is designed for computers with multi-core processors. Nowadays, multi-core processors computers are getting introduced. It is faster than DDR2. DDR4, obviously, it is faster than DDR3. It is fourth generation of DDR. Correct? RDRAM, Rambus DRAM. It is much faster than SDRAM. Okay, SDRAM, these types we have seen. It is much faster than SDRAM types. Okay, so which is the faster in the latest computer? Faster memories, RDRAMs are used. Other types of RAM, static RAM. It is efficient and fast but very expensive. SRAM is used in small amounts as cache memory in a computer. Cache memory improves the performance of a computer by storing the data which the computer frequently used. Now cache memory we will see afterwards in detail. Magnetoresistive RAM. It stores data using magnetic charges instead of electrical charges. So it is little bit faster than other DRAMs. MRAM has greater storage capacity, consume less power, and has faster access time than other RAMs. MRAM retains its contents after the computer is switched off, which could prevent loss of data for the users. It's a unique feature of this RAM type. Memory module. What is memory module? See, it is a circuit board and it holds memory chips. On one circuit board, many memory chips we can keep, we can fix it. RAM is a type of memory chip that makes up the main memory in the computer systems. See here, memory module is picture of memory module is given. Two types of memory modules are again memory modules is of two types, SIMMS and DIMMS. SIMMS is single inline memory module, has pin on the opposite side of the circuit board that connects together to form a single set of connects. Whereas with the dual inline memory module DIMM, by contrast, the pin on the opposite sides of the circuit board do not connect and thus form two sets of connects. Let's try to understand, because we cannot see all these RAMs and pictures of these RAMs because it is inside the CPU. RAM requirements means what? If the RAM capacity is more, your computer works very speedily. The amount of RAM on the computer determines the amount of programs and data a computer can handle at one time, which affects the overall performance. A computer can only manipulate data that is in the main memory, that is in the RAM memory. More the RAM, faster the computer will respond. Understood? Means if the RAM is more, the computer work will be faster. Now next, ROM, that is read-only memory. It is different. ROM refers to memory chips used for storing data that cannot be read-only. That can be read-only. Okay, so it is read-only memory. The data on the ROM chip cannot be modified. We cannot change it. Hence the name read-only memory. Okay, we can read. We can access the data. We can read the data, but we cannot modify. We cannot change it. ROM is a non-volatile memory. Its contents are not lost when the computer is switched off. ROM chips contains data, instructions or information that is recorded permanently. Manufacturers of ROM chips often record the data, instructions or information on the chips when they manufacture them. These ROM chips are also called firmware. Okay, is when the manufacturer is making a ROM chip, that time only it puts some information, some data on it. Those chips are called ROM chips, that is firmware. Okay, now next, variations of ROM chips. There are different variations, different types of ROM chips. A programmable read-only memory, that is PROM. This is a blank ROM chip on which you can place items permanently. Programmers use microcode instructions to program a PROM chip. An erasable programmable ROM, EPROM. In this, the contents are erased by ultraviolet light and the reprogrammed by a PROM program. You can write on, means you can change it, and whatever is there earlier you can erase it. And electrically EPROM. This allows a program to erase the microcode with an electrical signal, not the ultraviolet light. Okay. Now here, cache memory. What is cache memory again? Cache is a temporary storage area for instructions and data that enhances the CPU speed. Okay. Cache improves the processing speed of the computer because it stores frequently used instructions and data. Suppose every now and then you are giving save, or every now and then, like, it is a temporary memory, okay, in the computer. Every now and then, frequently, like it is quick access toolbar. You must have learned the quick access toolbar, which commands we require frequently. We are keeping in separate toolbox, that is quick access toolbar. Cache is built directly in the processor chip. Most modern computers have three types of layers of cache memory. Level 1, 2 and 3. Level 1. It is built directly on the processor chip. It is usually has a very small capacity. Level 2, if you will see, it is slightly slower than L1 cache but has much more large capacity. Level 3, it is cache on the motherboard that is separate from the processor chip. Okay, there are advancements. So level 1, 2, 3 are there. Now what is cache memory? It is shown how the working of the cache memory is given. When the processor needs an instruction or data, it first searches cache in the order level 1 is there, level 2 is there, or level 3 is there, which cache memory is there. It will search. If it doesn't locate the item in cache, then it searches RAM. If the instructions or data is not found in RAM, then it searches in the storage devices such as hard disk. Okay, but if it is available in the cache memory, it does not have to go and search it for RAM or for the hard disk. So there and there itself the time gets saved. Okay, see, it is given. First, the processor searches the information in cache. If it doesn't get the information in cache memory, it goes to RAM. If it is not there also, then it goes to secondary memory, and from there it goes to RAM, and from there it goes to processor. So it takes more time, but ready-madely, if it is available in cache, it reduces the time. Immediately it gets those instructions. So the computer working is more faster with the help of use of cache memory. Now, what is secondary memory? Secondary memory means which is for which second preference is given, which is not primary memory, and which is with this means primary memory is required for the working of a computer. It is optional, like it is used to store data for a long time. Whenever we want to store it permanently, whenever you want to make use afterwards also, that time we can store this data on the secondary memory. It operates at a slower rate than the primary memory. This memory is permanent in nature. It is also known as non-volatile memory. It is also known as a backup memory. The main example of secondary memory is hard disk. Understood? It is not used for any other working, but whenever we want to store some information, we can store in the hard disk. That is an example of secondary memory. Secondary memory example, you can say that pen drive, flash drive as you call, or the external hard disk, that is also example of secondary memory. With this, we have come to an end of this chapter. In this chapter, we have seen what are the memory units, measurement for the memory units, how the memory unit is divided into different types, that is ROM and RAM. What are the different variants of RAM as well as ROM memory? What is cache memory? And the working of a computer, how the memory decides the speed of the computer. Okay, if cache memory is available, the computer works very faster. If the RAM and ROM different variants, advanced variants are used in the computer, even though the computer works very fast. So with this, we have come to an end of the second chapter. You go through the video properly. Whenever you will get the notes of this chapter, write it down in the computer book. If you doesn't have computer book, write in some other book and preserve it properly. By then, thank you. Study well, go to the chapter properly. Take care of yourself. Okay, bye.